Hey guys, and welcome to a new Let's Play series for Prison Architect. As many of you would know, Prison Architect has been in development for a very long time, and over the last few days the 1.0 release build has come out on Steam, which I'm absolutely super excited for. So I actually picked this one up in early access, must be over a year and a half ago now. Played a lot of the early alphas and followed a lot of the development, but I'm really keen to see where they've gone with it recently, as I didn't have a chance to check out the last few builds, so this should be a lot of fun. I'm not going to review the game in any way, shape or form. I'm just going to sort of jump into a pretty stock standard Let's Play, although I will say if you love strategy games or building games or anything like that, then you're absolutely going to love this one. So it's a lot of fun, and you're going to sink a lot of hours into this one. So if you haven't done so already, go and pick it up ASAP. We're going to be playing on a medium map. Our warden is going to be JW Periwinkle, because honestly that is the coolest name that is possibly ever existed in the history of gaming. So there we go. Lakes and buildings are both off, and failure conditions, gangs and events are all on. So it should hopefully make the game a little bit more interesting and also a little bit more difficult as well. So we're actually going to jump ahead in the video, and I'm going to lay some fences and initial planning and stuff down behind the scenes, just so you guys don't have to sort of watch that happen, because it can be a little bit slow at the start of the game. So yeah, that should be all good, and I'll see you all soon. Welcome back everyone, and this is our initial prison. So I've actually set down all the fences and all that kind of stuff and put down some initial planning, so I'm just going to run through it really quickly and then we're just going to jump into the game. So I've got some road gates and this sort of initial delivery area all fenced off, so which is good. Some jail doors and staff doors, all this kind of stuff to make sure our staff can get easy access to these side areas. It's going to be a little bit funky to start with, only because we can't sort of restrict prisoners from certain areas yet, so probably have to lock a few of these doors just to start with, but that should be fine. We've got offices down here, staff room here, kitchen, canteen. We have holding cell, shower and yard there, and then storage room and utilities room right there. So that is the way we're going to roll with at the moment, but a lot of it's going to change later on, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously our prison is going to get a hell of a lot bigger, but for now this is what we're going to do. So I did hire 2 more workmen as well, just to get things going a little bit quicker. Going to jump into the CEO's letter here, so we haven't played this before. Sort of the stock standard introduction. Just give you some hints and tips about what to do, so if you're sort of interested in reading this, just pause the game at the moment, but I'll probably just close it or delete it at the moment. So there we go. Prisoner intake is in 15 hours. I'm not sure that we're going to make it. I'm going to definitely try to make the first intake, but if not, we may sort of have to pause it for a little bit. But we probably should be pretty close to that. So I'm just going to jump straight into building some of our initial buildings. So it's going to be our holding cell, our shower there, and she put down a big foundation there as well. So we have jail doors, 2 large jail doors, one there, and then over in this area we're going to have a staff door there and a staff door there. So that should work pretty well. You can bump the speed back up to 3 and let our workmen do their thing. And yeah, so that should be pretty good. So by no means an expert at this game, so I've played a few hours, but you know, definitely haven't mastered this game in any way, shape or form. So if anyone out there has got better suggestions or ways I should be doing things, always open to ideas and sort of learning and all that kind of stuff, so please let me know. Alright, so our shower is coming in and holding cell as well, which is good. So I'm going to lay down our shower room right over here, then jump over to, where is it, our holding cell right there. So holding cell is going to be pretty temporary. Probably actually convert this into maybe a reception area or something later on, but for the moment that's what we're going to do. And start chucking down a bunch of objects in our shower to get that set up. So put down a pretty simple shower. Actually, you can put the shower rooms in our cell blocks, is the way we're going to do it. So this is probably interesting, a temporary one. Probably get rid of this. Should probably get rid of all 3 of these buildings. Some stage further down the game. Put down 2 drains there, and for our holding cell, you're going to need a couple of toilets and some benches as well. So there we go. That should be pretty good. Alright, just waiting for this room or this area to come in or to build in, and then we'll sort of fix it up. There we go. So actually going to run a brick wall right between there. So it looks like I messed up that planning. There we go. Run a brick wall right through there, and then we're actually going to put down our utilities. So we're going to have our power station there, and then our water pump right there. Should be fine for now. Put down 2 capacitors as well, just to start with. And definitely going to need a lot more power than what you start with, so that should be fine. I'm actually going to jump in and grab a couple of grants. You can see I haven't got a whole lot of money, and most of that's actually going to be spent once we actually sort of hook up a lot of these areas and actually build in our kitchen and stuff. So actually jump down here into reports, And there we go. If I click the button and jump down into grants, and we're just going to get our first two pretty stock standard initial starting grants. So our basic detention center, which is 30 grand, or 20,000 advance payment, 10,000 completion, and then we need a holding cell, a shower, a yard, a kitchen, a canteen, 2 guards, and 2 cooks, which is going to be pretty easy. And also going to jump into administration center as well. So it's 2 officers, a warden, and then get an accountant by unlocking finance. So that should be pretty easy as well. So we'll set up our officers a little bit later. It's not going to be our priority, but we're definitely going to jump into our kitchen and canteen right now. So we're going to jump into brick foundation. So just lay that one out there like that, and then also like that there. Hopefully this kitchen won't change a huge amount. May need to sort of expand it out a little bit, but we'll see how that goes later on. So that's coming in pretty well. So there's our power station and all that kind of stuff set up. So we need to start laying down our utilities. So we run a electrical cable from there. And I think what you're going to do is actually run one along inside the fence there. And then sort of run up through here. And then just run offshoots up into our buildings there. And then we'll run one down right down into there like that. And we'll sort out this area once that's done. And also going to start putting down our pipes as well. So actually lay our pipes internally as much as possible. So we're going to do it like that, then run it straight up the middle there, and then put some small pipes up through here like this. So you don't really want to have your large pipes near anywhere that your prisoners spend like a huge amount of time. So it's good to have them outside a lot of the time, because they can actually have them, can actually sort of tunnel into them and sort of escape through the large pipes. So definitely don't want them near holding cells or anything like that. So that's why we've sort of gone through that route there. This area is getting set up pretty well. Just put down a few doors, large scale door there, and then a staff door over on this side right there. And we'll fix the internal walls and stuff once the foundation is set up. So 8 hours to go. I think we may actually make it, which would be cool. So that should be pretty good. All the utilities and stuff coming in, which is good. This area is built in, and so actually going to check down a brick wall is a dividing wall here between our kitchen and our canteen, and then put down another staff door right there. So if you haven't played the game before, staff doors, obviously, as the name suggests, means that only staff can use them. You actually need a staff pass. Prisoners can still though, so that's something you could be careful of. But it is a good way to sort of just divide your areas up and make sure your prisoners can't easily get out of places. And the jail doors are basically, they're a lot stronger, so if sort of prisoners riot and they're trying to actually sort of break out, they sort of last a lot longer and all that kind of stuff. So that is what they're for. So utilities, yeah, it's almost set up, so they're actually going pretty well. Almost hooked up, and actually start laying down a bunch of our, actually put down our rooms first. So it's going to be our kitchen in here, and then our big canteen right in here. So it's a huge canteen, but I hope, like I mentioned, actually hoping we won't actually sort of have to change this a whole lot later on, so that's why we're going for such a big one there. Put down some cookers right there and there. Probably won't need too many at the moment, so just going to put down a couple. Put a sink down whereabouts. I can never tell which way these models. There we go, that's the way. There, like that. And then some fridges right along near the door. So is that the right way? Or we'll go over there. There we go. Good enough. And may as well actually start laying down all this kind of stuff as well in our canteen. So you need a serving table, so you can put that right there near the kitchen. Then put down a bunch of benches and, oops, not benches, wrong, tables, and then benches. So there we go, tables. So put tables like this, and you set it up in rows like this. So you're going to have gap there, and there. I think that's going to work. So you can set up them like that, and then put down some benches there, and that's going to work. Alright, we're going to move that out one more. Which is cool, we can sort that out. So there we go, we have those there. So we have a whole row of tables and benches, and then we have one there, and there, I think, or is that too far out again? Yep, alright, that's better. Cool, we got there in the end. And yeah, we'll set up some more just along here. Bit of an overkill, but might as well get them set up while we can. So there we go. Alrighty, so how is everything going? So look, check out our utilities. This looks like they're all sort of still coming in from what I can see. And I should probably need to run another one in through here, don't we? Just to light up that area through there. And so we missed one there, did we miss one there? Oh, it's cool, not a problem. So you run one down here into there like this, and then probably just one straight up there into there. And then we also need a small pipe to hook up into our, and there we go, into our sink there, get that all sorted. 3 hours to go. I actually think we're going to probably make this, which would be good, so that means we won't sort of miss out for too long. So let's put down our yard now. I know you don't sort of actually have to have your yard, you know, enclosed, you actually sort of have it out in the open, but sort of, I suppose for appearances, I actually have it a blocked off yard and all that kind of stuff. Probably going to leave the door open most of the time, so just leave it like locked open, don't really need to have it sort of shut in or anything like that. So as you see, all of our prisons got power and water now, which is really good. So definitely going to be more than fine for our 2-hour start now. So we're going to holding cell, shower, yard's almost done, the kitchen, all that kind of stuff is set up, which is good. Put down a storage yard right here. And yeah, actually might as well get stuck into the rest of our prison. So start putting down our staff room there, and then our offices right there. And staff door there and there, and that should be good. So everything is pretty much set up, which is good. So yep, all good, cool. Everything's going pretty well for now. So just going to do a bit of a double check, make sure we haven't left any obvious gaps somewhere. It does happen, and that's really, really embarrassing when you get your first group of prisoners and they all just jump off the bus and then just run out of your prison off the map, and you basically fail straight away. So it looks like we're okay for the moment. Actually, I think I'm going to lock both of these doors, these staff doors here, because otherwise what's going to happen is, rather than coming through this way, actually lock this one open as well. Probably don't really need these sort of double jail door here, but I'm sort of thinking more long term, in case there's riots and things like that, we can actually sort of leave this open a little bit more. So what these staff doors are basically designed to do is means that our workmen and stuff, because they actually sort of need to be, these jail doors need to be opened by a guard. So if a workman and stuff would actually want to come through this way or get into like these areas, they would actually sort of have to wait for guards to open this, which can slow down your prison a lot. So if you have sort of these separate areas with staff doors that they can come through, it means they can get easy access into like the storage, and then sort of over here the offices and all that kind of stuff as well later. So but for now, because we can't sort of restrict prisoners from certain areas, this is going to be a little bit funky. So actually going to lock these shut. Probably just that one there actually means they should probably come through this way into the prison. So I'm just going to double check, make sure that works. And there we go, got our first lot of prisoners, all the doors and all that kind of stuff shut off. So actually going to put down some staff now. So we're going to hire 4 guards to start with and 2 cooks. There we go, and I'm going to lay down a yard as well. So where out? There's the yard. So put that one down. Actually lock this door open as well. And there we go, we have our first grant finished. So we actually got a $10,000 completion payment, which is awesome. So I got a fair bit of money now, which is nice. See the guard coming in, the prison van. Just going to slow down the speed a little bit, put it up to 2 probably. So you see all of our initial prisoners coming in. And they sort of wait in this area until sort of a guard has to bring them actually into the prison. So it sort of looks like it's working okay. Looks like they're coming around the right way. They're not actually coming this way. It's going to be a little bit slow for the workman stuff to begin with, but that's definitely going to be worth it. Should be payoff in the long run. So we're going to put down some more objects in our yard just to sort of keep our prisoners happy. I'm going to put down a few phone booths. So I should put down 1, 2, 3. And then just a couple of weight benches as well. 1, 2, and 3 there. So that should hopefully keep them a little bit happy. Put the speed up to 3. Or 2 probably, just make sure everything's going okay. Chop this tree down because it's annoying and sort of in the way. So that is fine there. Alright, so this area is actually down here are both built, which is awesome. So actually sort of flesh these out now and get the offices and stuff set up. And so we can build all those in there like that, and there, and there, and there. Cool, there we go. And now we're going to start putting down some doors. So we should put down normal doors here, so they don't really have to be staff doors or anything like that. And there we go, so that should be all of those set up. I'm going to put down some utilities, run an electrical cable. Probably might as well just run it sort of out from there and then straight down into there. So that should be far enough there. And that should be everything. I don't think it needs water or anything down there, which is fine. So you see all of our prisoners are now being sort of brought into the prison, into the holding cell, which is nice. Definitely going to leave the holding cell locked. I think I may actually sort of leave this one open though, the canteen. Not really sure. Yeah, I may leave it open for the moment. See how we go. Sort of, it may be a little bit counterintuitive counterintuitive, but sometimes it actually is better to leave certain areas open, so that's why we do that. And I'm not sure why you did that, but anyway, we're going to send you over to make sure there's someone in the holding cell. So you can actually assign sort of guards into certain, like later on you can actually assign them into certain rooms and all that kind of stuff, which just makes things a lot better, but that sort of needs a few unlocks to get to that stage. So for now we're just going to run with that. Yeah, everything else is going pretty well. A fair bit of cash flow, which is nice, fair bit of money. And yeah, so she might jump in and grab another grant. Might go. I'll go for prison maintenance. I should might wait for our cell block. We need unlocked finance. Yeah, it may actually wait for a cell block, and then may sort of jump into prison maintenance and then also a cell block. So we get cleaners and gardeners, and then set up a first proper cell block, so everyone has their individual cells, which would be a lot better than a holding cell. Which means that they won't sort of clash and stuff quite as much. So it is quite interesting. It's actually sort of watch your prisoners and sort of learn about them and what they do and all that kind of stuff. And can be a little bit probably if I have any criticism of the game is that some of these can be a little bit cookie cutter. Like there's lots of detail in here, but you sort of eventually you're going to have say 100 prisoners, and you don't really sort of develop bonds with them or sort of follow them so much as maybe you could do. So but yeah, I think it is still really cool if you sort of want to take the time and sort of really get into your prison and all that kind of stuff. It can be very cool. There's lots of cool things you can do with this game. So like if you want to set up like just a maximum security prison and have death row and all that kind of stuff, it can be quite cool. So I'm not really worried about leaving this door open because there's nowhere for them to go. So they're not going to sort of make a break for it because I mean if they do, they've got this jail door here, and we can also lock these ones plus the road gate. So they've basically got to go through like 3 or 4 different levels of security to get out. So we're just going to do that. So you can see all the prisoners in here eating. And you can see down here, so feed all prisoners, and the little green icons there. If they're green, they've been fed. If they're red, they haven't. So definitely fed them all, which is good. So we actually set up regimes and stuff as well. Can't at the moment because we need a warden. So we'll do that once we've set up our officers, and they look like they're ready to go now, which is quite cool. So jump into planning to get rid of all these little planning icons there. So that's good. And there we go. Cool. All right, so we're going to set up a few officers now. So we an office there and there, which is up 4 for the moment, and we can set up the rest later. So we need a office desk or an office desk, one there, one there, one there, one there. Need filing cabinets there, 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 and there, and also some chairs. Put those there, 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 and there. Cool. Done. So once those goes in, we can hire a warden and also unlock some finance and all that kind of stuff. So that should be pretty good. So heaps of room to expand out into. So it's a really cool feature of the game now that you actually sort of have these really large maps, and obviously like there's one larger than this. So some of the early alphas, you play in small, so it's a hell of a lot better than what it was. So some stuff. We put down our first staff member, which is JW Periwinkle, our warden. It's going to be the warden's office there, which is good. Looks like a bit of a trooper, doesn't he? Interesting. Guard dogs have a 50% chance of fully uncovering any tunnels they detect. So that's quite cool. Quite fun, quite useful as well later on. So you see we've got yard time. So here up here is sort of the regime or the level, or the current activity or the regime that they're undertaking. So in the yard at the moment, they're all just sort of not really doing a whole lot, but that's fine. Yep, we don't worry too much about that. So what we're going to jump into is, where are we? Bureaucracy up there. We're going to actually unlock finance now. So basically you need a warden, and then you can sort of unlock like the research tech tree, and you can unlock a whole bunch of different new areas of your prison and all that kind of stuff. So unlock finance first. That's going to give us access to some new grants and things like that. I'm going to send a warden in here just to make sure there's actually someone in this area, make sure they don't do anything bad. They don't get too cranky and fight and all that kind of stuff. So it's one reason why it's really good to have individual cells, is because if they're sort of in this close quarters environment, sort of they can get really into fights and sort of annoy each other and all that kind of stuff. So just sack a couple of workers. So actually hired 2 more than what we started with. So I need to just sack a little few more, just so we've got a little bit more daily income there. So we can see bureaucracy and all that kind of stuff is researching. Let's set up our staff room now as well, so our staff don't get too tired. And where is it? There is staff room. So what do we need? We need a wide sofa and a drinks machine. So I'm sure we can put down those. So we have a couple of sofas there. Maybe put down some TVs as well. I'm not really sure if they use them, but where on earth is it? There we are, TVs. Cool. Let's put down a couple of TVs and a few drinks machines as well. Just one there. There we go. So that should make the staff happy as well. Make sure they don't get too tired out. So you can see these staff doors working really well, so it's really good to have sort of staff access into as many areas of your prison as you can without sort of compromising security as well, so that should be good. Yeah, so we got a few of our staff members probably going off to rest soon, I suspect. All our prisoners are in eating, which is good. Next intake in 11 hours, it shouldn't be a problem. Definitely want to get a cell block built up after that though. Probably wouldn't want to have any more than 16 in the holding cell because that's quite a lot. So especially for quite a small holding cell. So they're all being fed, all that kind of stuff. They should be relatively happy. You can't actually see their needs at the moment. So you actually see there it says psychologists required to show their needs. So you can sort of see what's annoying them or what they need and what you can do to make them happy and all that kind of stuff. But we can deal with all that a little bit later once we get access to our psychologist. There's a guard in there as well, just again to make sure they're going okay. It also is sort of a bit of a thing if they don't sort of have a guard around them for a certain period of time, it makes them more likely to act up. So you know, you just sort of have guards sitting there periodically, should make them a lot more happy and all that kind of stuff. So we put down an accountant now. Put down there. There we go. So we have an accountant's office in there. So we've actually got a tree stump right in the middle of the office. Not really quite sure. Surely we can demolish that. Apparently not. Alright, well that's cool. Just going to have a tree stump in your office, lady. That's fine. Right, so going to jump into grants now. And what are we going to grab? So we can actually grab access to the regime now. I'm not going to actually set that up until we set up our cell block. So we've actually got access to valuation. If you want to sell and sort of you actually move on and like sort of build on like new bigger prisons and all that kind of stuff. Finances there, programs. We set up some programs later on. Grants, like we've already seen. Regime, jobs, stuff, or what jobs your staff members are doing. Intakes, you actually turn intakes off and you actually sort of control like certain intakes. So if you want just all minimum security or all medium security or max security, as you can see here, you actually get more payments. So obviously like for maximum security, you get a hell of a lot more payment than for a minimum security. So you actually sort of base your prison around that, around different sort of levels of prisoners and money and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's all pretty cool. Fair bit of information if you really want to jump into the game. So he's good. So what do you do? Just jump into bureaucracy. I don't think we really need anything else in here at the moment. We may actually start unlocking. So you grab a grant for prison maintenance and also the cell block. There we go. And we jump back into bureaucracy and we're just going to start unlocking maintenance. Then we can get groundskeeper and cleaning and all that kind of stuff and make sure our prison is clean and our grounds are looking good, or the guard and all that kind of stuff that we'll set down a little bit later. And I think that's all we need for now, so it should be pretty good. Yeah. Cell block A, raise prisoner capacity to 15. So we're going to set up our first cell block quite soon, I think. Definitely need a little bit more space. So I'm thinking we may sort of set it up maybe over in this area. So if you sort of expand our fence out to this way, we can sort of set up over here, and then we can sort of replace a lot of this stuff here. Maybe even like build a bigger yard, have a reception area, and it can still be quite close to our cell block. I think we have one cell block here, a second one over here, and then we still have access to the kitchen and stuff down here, which we can sort of expand down this way if we need to. And we can sort of set up our industries and stuff around the outside a little bit more. But it's really good to have, I think, have cell blocks sort of quite central. So we can have them in this area. It means they've basically got long to go to actually get out, or like further to go to actually get out. So eventually we'll sort of have all this area fenced off with the perimeter wall and all that kind of stuff. And it means they won't be able to tunnel out quite as easily. So if you put cell blocks like right on the perimeter here, it means they don't really have that far to go to actually leave. So that's the reasoning behind that. So what we're going to do is, where are we? We actually put down, sort of expand our fence. So if I can see, a little bit hard to see even now, but there's our existing fence. So we're actually going to just build it out to there. And I think we may just extend it along to here. So the reason I don't sort of want to expand out the whole prison at the moment is one, sort of money, but two, basically so our prisoners can't sort of wander around and do that kind of stuff. So we actually do later on get contraband, so people basically will sort of come in, I suppose, you know, friends of the prisoners will actually sort of come in and sort of chuck things onto the map, and then your prisoners will sort of run over to the edges and try and actually pick up a bunch of contraband, all that kind of stuff. So that's the reason we're doing that at the moment. So you wait for this fence to be built in before we get rid of the internal one. So that should be done pretty soon. Definitely have our cell block built by the time of our third intake. Fair bit of money though, fair bit of cash flow, so it's definitely not a problem there at all. I'm just going to put down another capacity, and you see this, the red bar, if that hits the top there, you actually sort of, your power turns off and you run out of juice. So we actually put down 1, 2 capacitors there. Should be more than enough. And yeah, see our fence being built in here, it's almost done. It's not too far away from being done, which is good. See the prisoners, the workers, pretty much the same thing there. They never like to actually leave the base, so I suppose they're pretty much prisoners, aren't they? Kind of sucks to spend your entire life in a prison. A little bit depressing. So jump into materials and actually demolish all these walls through here. So demolish this whole area through there like that. There we go. Get rid of all that. And we have our area for our cell block. Yeah. Should be good. Should be good. Yeah, it's going to be plenty of room, I think, which should be fantastic. Alrighty, so there are actually a whole bunch of like builds with cell blocks that you can sort of jump on the net into the guides and stuff and actually sort of see some really good builds. We're going to try and make one from memory, so this may not work out at all. This may take a little bit of time, guys. I'm actually going to sort of use the planning thing just to make sure that it's set out properly. So I think it's going to be 21 by 21. Rings a bell. Alright, we're going to try this, see how this goes. So what we're going to do, so cells going to have to be 3 by 2 or 2 by 3, whichever way you want to go. So we can run a row of cells down there. We can have them here like this. Like that. And not 2 by 3 is not right, so maybe it's... So how many do we need? Another 2. So we bring it out to there. That should be better, should it not? Remove all those, and that, and there, and there. Ah, one too many. I suppose that's okay, actually. What we might actually do, I might actually set up some solitary units. So maybe set up a couple of solitary units there. Interesting. Maybe we probably really need one, don't we? Yeah, probably only really need one. Alright, we're going back to what we initially had. And get rid of all this. Alright, so. There we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, probably 24, I suspect, all up. And then we have a couple of solitary units there. So solitary don't have to be anything, actually, so it'd be just by 1 by 1. So I'm actually going to make this a 1 by 3. So. And may as well just do the same setup down this way. So what we're going to have in our cell blocks is just the cells and then a shower as well, so we can get rid of this one. Some people do sort of set up specific yards and stuff for cell blocks. We may do that a little bit later, so we probably actually could like set up a yard over this way and have the entrance out the back, so they've got their own dedicated yard. If you don't want to sort of mix match, because then you can actually have like medium security cell blocks and then minimum security, and so you basically, if your prisoners, you don't want your prisoners to mix. You can do that. So you usually don't want like max security mixed with min, so sometimes the minimum can get beaten up pretty easily. So what we're thinking we may do, just set up a shower sort of in this area, not there like that. So maybe something along like this, along there. It doesn't need to be quite that big. Something like that, perhaps. I think it may set up as a shower. And what can we do with our cells? So if we have cells, something quite big enough, is it? There we are. That's better. That's 2 by 3, 2 by 3, and no, that's not going to work. May do something like this instead. Maybe we actually make our shower a little bit bigger. Just make sure that we've got enough room. So I think I've definitely got this build wrong, but that's okay. Nothing too much to worry about. So what we're going to do, we're going to run down through there. I think that should, yeah, it's a little bit feral, but we may set up some extra. Yeah, maybe should have a couple of big cells there. I suppose we could actually turn that into a guard room later on, couldn't we? Interesting, we'll see. Which may just have extra cells. Alright, we'll just have to do that for the moment. Have some big cells there. So we got 1, 2, we have 6, 12, 18, 19, 20 cells all up. And 2 solar. So that's not too bad, really. Cool. Well, that's okay. Maybe I should just run with that. I suppose we could actually extend it out here, couldn't we? Yeah, we're just going to run with this. Change it later on. It's not perfect. That's fine. We're just going to run with it. There we go. So get that down and building. Just fine. Requires an entrance. So you put down a large jail door right in the middle there. So what we're going to do is basically leave the large jail door open and then have the individual cells locked. So our guards and all that kind of stuff can get in and out really easily. Next intake of prisoners is coming up, which is good. A bit more cash flow, all that kind of stuff. I may actually put down another guard as well. Actually, maybe put down 2 more. It's probably a little bit of an overkill for this stage, but it's probably better to have too many guards than not enough. Just make sure they cover all the areas and when some are resting and all that kind of stuff. So our cell block is nearly built in. There we go. So there's our initial cell block. A little bit dodgy, but that's fine. We can deal with that. So we are going to set all this up now. So we can put it all down the internal walls now. So there. There we go. So actually I'll open this one up now so our workers and stuff can get in and out really easily. So we need to expand our utilities along so we can build our utilities along. I think what we're going to do is run maybe 2 right up in the middle. So run 1 up there and then extend this one and then another one up there. I think that's going to cover pretty much the entire cell block, which would be good. We run a large pipe along here, then just run small pipes up through there. So that should be a lot better. Doesn't mean that our prisoners won't be able to, so what they'll probably try and do is actually no route. Why on earth is there no route there? Oh no, fixed. That's good. Alright, so our prisoners are stuck in their cells. Oh, our workers are stuck in their cells, so we need to put down a bunch of doors now. So actually, where's our we've got solitary doors. There we go. So we're going to put down a couple of solitary doors there, and the rest of them are just going to be jail doors. All through here, like this, that. There we go. So our 2 workers, or our 3 workers, should be able to get out pretty quickly. There we go. It's all good. All sorted. Just actually lock these into open at the moment, just so our workers and stuff can get out when they need to make sure they don't get stuck in there again. Otherwise, they have to wait for guards and all that kind of stuff to come in and open it all for them. Alright, I think I may actually put a cut in here, guys. Running at over 33 minutes for the video now. So, hopefully we enjoyed this first episode, getting our cell block set up, which is good. Got a couple of prisoner intakes. Definitely have this set up by our 3rd intake, which would be good. And I think we may actually expand this out, make it a little bit better, make sure that all the cells and stuff fit a bit properly. But for now, it's fine. It's definitely working, so that's all good. Yeah, so we put a cut in here, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the first episode. Hope you're all going to stick around for the series. It should be a lot of fun. I love this game. It is really cool. So especially you get sort of further into the game, you get a lot of new things to do and a lot more problems and stuff come up. And with the gangs and events and all that kind of stuff, it should be really, really good. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. And as always, it would be absolutely amazing if you could subscribe to the channel and also like the video. So every little bit helps to get the word out there and all that kind of stuff. So that would be enormously appreciated. And yeah, I hope you've all had a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all for the next episode. See you soon, guys.